Hello everyone and welcome to Club Reaction to Rangers 0, Slavia Prague 2. Rangers suffer only their second defeat this season. When it's not your night, it's really not your night, and Rangers certainly never do things in half measures. So I'm your host Scott Carney, and joining me as always is Ali Pearson.
Disappointing night, lads, but obviously we'll need to discuss it and break it down.
Yeah, and Scott Gemo as well.
Evening, lads. It's a range of emotions for me, disappointed, frustrated, proud, and raging as well, to be honest.
Yes, it's a very much a mix of emotions. I think we're obviously going to have our immediate thoughts after the match. We can't really take away from what the team have achieved this year. And if you're hoping for a Rangers banging right now for me to get torn into them, I'm certainly not going to do that. Do I think they could have done better? Yeah, I do. But I'm not going to get torn into the team, not for the season that we've had. It was just one of those nights and nothing really seemed to happen for Rangers tonight. Ali, before we get into the game, what's your initial thoughts on the game? Are you kind of along the same lines of we can be disappointed in the result, but you also have to show some respect for what this team have achieved?
Yeah, I think Scotia summed it up quite well, to be honest. I'm extremely proud of my team. It's the first time we've been defeated in Europe all season, which is a phenomenal achievement. We've went out to a very good footballing team, a clever team, a team that came to Ibrox today, they knew how to play it, they knew how to play Rangers. They did it very well. They probably deserved it over the two legs as well, Slavia. I can't grumble on them going through at all. Yeah, the same as you. I think we could have played a hell of a lot better tonight. We could have put, I think a lot of folk, because it was one each coming into Ibrox top, we've got a right good chance. I think that's what it was, to be honest. And when you get in the last 16 in any competition, especially in Europe, there's no mugs, and they were definitely no mugs. And yeah, it's disappointing, but at the same time, I'm proud at Rangers how far they've got. And I mean, the be all and end all this season was the league, and we've got the league. This was gravy for me, and yeah, it's as what it is tonight. It wasn't going to go our way tonight at all. I knew it wasn't.
Yeah, Scotia, your kind of initial thoughts, mate.
Yeah, kind of what I said at the start there, disappointed that we're out. It'd be nice to go a wee bit further, kind of progress on what we've done last year. Although I think we've done that to some extent if we sit back and look at it in the cold light of day. Yeah, frustrated because there was times during the game in the first half even that things could have went for us a wee bit differently. But proud, yeah. I mean, we came through 3 qualifying rounds. Now, obviously they were shortened, but that's still 3 qualifying rounds to come through and be in the last 16. And there was a wee stat that popped up on Twitter that I seen today. Rangers were one of the best performers in terms of picking up coefficient points outside the top 4 leagues and without the kind of bonus points and things getting added on. So very proud at Rangers. What they've done in Europe under Gerrard's been unbelievable, really. Yeah, so it's a mix of everything, to be honest. Yeah, like you said at the start, can't slate them really, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, mate. And it is, of course, I'm disappointed. Rangers are beating me out of Europe. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointed, but I'm not going to get torn into the team. I'm just not. It's not an embarrassment. It's not. It's probably our level. Let's be honest, gentlemen. I mean, from where we've been, remember the last thing that I remember about Europe before Gerrard came in was Kushinya talking to us in a fucking hedge. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to put things into perspective a wee bit. And yeah, I mean, probably early on in that first half, maybe probably after they scored, to be honest with you, I did think this is probably not going to happen tonight, and you could see the way things unfolded. Anyway, we'll get into the game. There's obviously quite a few talking points to get into, a few points I'll probably get quite angry about as well, to be honest, but that's probably not fully Rangers related, I'll be honest. So the starting 11 tonight was McGregor, Patterson, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic, Davis, Kamara, Arfield, Kent, Aribo and Morelos. I'm not just saying this because of what happened in the game. I'm shocked that Balogun started. Ali?
Obviously we all didn't pick Balogun in the team. I could see what he was doing in terms of playing Balogun. I think the whole game plan today was to try and play with a high line with Balogun there, obviously with his pace to help if they broke on us, didn't he come off. If you're Hollander sitting there, you're probably gutted, but if that was Gerrard's game plan and he's explained that to Hollander, then he can't argue with it, really. Yeah, I was semi-shocked because we all picked Hollander, obviously, but not overly shocked because I thought they would press high, Rangers, and Balogun has that wee burst of pace that Hollander doesn't.
Scotia?
Yeah, similar to Ali, really. Not totally shocked, because I think I'd said a few months back that it's going to be a pretty much of a flip up between Balogun and Helander for the rest of the season. What I will say is Helander's now the only one in sort of what you would call the first 13, 14 of the squad that's been undefeated undefeated this season when he's been playing. So still got that to hold on to.
Yeah, very much so. But I was just a wee bit shocked. But we'll jump into the game. Obviously, there's a few bits we can kind of go over quite quickly, and there's other points that we'll probably stick and talk about. So we would obviously kick off. We were witness to another firework display from outside the stadium, and a magnificent Champions 55 banner that they've added to the Gov in front. Seats right in the middle of the stand. Just had to mention it. A bit of absolute class from Rangers. It looked absolutely brilliant when I seen it. I was like, oh, it looks absolutely great. You love to see stuff like that. But straight from the off, Rangers were trying to get at Slavia, to be honest. Kent with real great skill down the left-hand side, getting the ball into the box, causing a bit of panic defending from Slavia straight away. But pretty much immediately after that, they were straight up the park. Stanchu down their left-hand side gets a low cross into the box, and Balogun is called into action and clears the ball over the bar for about 3 yards out. But both teams really fancying their chances. After the first kind of hectic few minutes, it's Slavia that have the first real bit of possession. They've very much playing the same way that they did in the first leg, closing Rangers down in the middle, stopping us getting anything going at all. And then the blow comes that we didn't really want. Slavia take the lead. They make their better start count. I'll put it like that. They were very much in control of the ball. Maybe not in control of the game totally, but they were definitely in control of the ball. Good work from them down the left-hand side. Ball's whipped into the near post. Slavia player got in front of Goldson. Flush header down to the near post. McGregor gets a hand to it, but he can't keep it out. Again, Ali, it's not the start you want to this match, and we've got it all to do now.
Yeah, no, I thought the Rangers come out the blocks quite quick, but it was quickly turned on as I thought Slavia right after 2-3 minutes, I think when Balogun had that clearance, came into that game, controlled the game. I could see the goal coming, if I'm being honest, out of the two teams. I thought they looked more likely scoring. It's a decent ball into the box. The boys, I mean, it's quite a bit of a bullet header, to be honest. McGregor, you wouldn't say he's got much of a chance. We could do better at it, to be honest, but as soon as you go one down, especially the way that tie is, it's dodgy because they get a second and it's completely game over. And at that point, I thought, no, I don't think it's going to be our night as early on as that, to be blatantly honest, because I thought it was very similar to the first leg. I know Rangers had more chances in this leg, but I just thought it was quite similar in the way Slavia dominated possession and they looked very comfortable in the ball.
Yeah, they did. Scott, your thoughts on the goal?
Yeah, the goal itself's good. I think there's not really much that we could have done. I don't think I'd need to watch it back, and then if I was to pick anything, it would really be nitpicking. Sometimes you just need to put your hands up and say it was a good goal. Whereas last week, I think there's wee bits that could have been done slightly better. Yeah, I agree that it seemed it's like the game from last week. That first 10 minutes, both teams kind of probing each other. We were a bit better in terms of that first couple of minutes spell. Thought, oh no, we look up for it tonight, and then Slavia came up to it. Also it reminded me an awful lot of old firm games. It's pretty hectic end-to-end stuff in that sort of first wee period, as if hell for leather kind of thing. So
but it wasn't the best of starts. I mean, you could pick holes in it. What I would say about Slavia is they are very good at the way they shift over. They kind of shift over in like I'm not a tactics guy, by the way, but I'm going to try and explain this. They kind of shift over as like a unit, and all of a sudden we're overloaded on one side without really kind of noticing they're overloaded on one side, which caused the guy to be in front of Goldson when the cross comes in. Do you know what I mean? It's the way that they do it, and they're a very, very well drilled team. I'm going to get this out now. They're a dirty team. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly how to play a referee. But again, you can't criticise them for that, really, because they know how to play off European referees. As you can tell, I'm building up to come to this referee. But anyway, yeah, not the greatest Rangers start at all. We then get a kind of half chance really up the park. Kent's got a good shot from outside the box. He kind of takes it on the swivel, but the keeper turns it round for a corner. And again, really the best spell for Rangers in that half. A good bit of passing. We end up working the ball out to the left hand side to Barisic. He gets a great ball into the box to Morelos. He maybe rises just a wee bit too early for it and he can't keep the header down. Maybe the defender in front puts him off, not really sure. But Rangers were looking more dangerous now that after we'd conceded. I think we definitely looked the kind of better team at this point. Down the left-hand side especially with Barisic and Kent. We're kind of winning free kicks as well, 2 of them which were bookings, but again, the ref not giving them. You had already booked Balogun at this point though, just saying. Barisic is having some joy. And Kent as well, once he was getting going, they were having real problems dealing with him. Kent is then taken out again, still no booking. Slavia are taking Kent out every time he gets the ball. He's taken time after time he was took out as soon as he touched the ball. It may be from different players, but the ref was he was at risk of losing control of this game. At this point, I think there was so many fouls, persistent fouls, that the referee was just not taking any action on it. There must be about 5 or 6 Slavia players at this point, I felt, that were 1 foul away from the booking. And that'll kind of take us up to 30 minutes. And as I said, since the Slavia goal, Rangers have looked a better team. Defensive work been really good. Davis especially has been brilliant at covering Barisic when Barisic has been up the park. But the next goal was crucial, and it's probably the most obvious statement of the night that I could probably make. And my thoughts on the players: Scott Arfield, not great, and Aribo really has to offer more. But we'll jump back to the referee. I know obviously my emotions are running high. Scott, I'll come to you first. My emotions are obviously a bit high. Yep. We're losing, we're behind, the referee's blatantly a moron. Is he a moron, or am I being a bit harsh? I felt there was at least 2 bookings for Slavia and they didn't get them.
Yeah, he is a moron, to be honest. I mean, but the way Slavia was very streetwise, knew exactly what they were doing, and they were just, I think, in fact, see when we played Antwerp, I think similar things were happening, that they were fouling all the time. And it was persistent fouling, but it was fouls by different players all the time. So he's like, oh, right, he's only had 1, that's only 2. So it's some stuff like that, but it was persistent fouling in the same player. It was Kent all the time. Every time he got the ball, you knew a foul was coming. And they were fouls that weren't in decent positions for us to kind of capitalise on. Yeah, the ref should have got control of it a bit quicker, I felt. And it's the way the Slavia players scream. I mean, you could hear that really clearly. I've heard people talking about it previously, but tonight I could clearly hear them howling every time someone touched them. And you see them back, and a lot of them are nothing.
It was frustrating to watch, mate, and maybe it's a criticism we need to put towards Rangers and not put the criticism towards them, as they played the game very well tonight and they know how to do it. I mean, there's a few of them where they were going down and it's like he's screaming like he's been ran over by a car. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, it's just it's nowhere near that. The referee's reacting to it and it's just it wasn't great. What were your thoughts quickly, Scott, just on Arfield and Aribo in 30 minutes? They're the 2 players I noted that could be doing more.
Arfield, I felt, was about a yard off the pace. Yeah, he was in the wrong positions at the wrong times. Aribo, it wasn't great, but I felt Arfield was the weaker link of the lot, to be honest. I just felt that he was off the pace of where everything was. But I think throughout that sort of first 30 minutes, and what I'd kind of alluded to earlier was all the wee breaks of the ball that we were getting weren't coming off. All the wee breaks were falling to Slavia all the time. And sometimes these things go your way on the night, sometimes they don't. And I don't think, to be honest, any came our way tonight.
No, I'd agree with that, mate. I do see it as one of them nights. Ali, your thoughts on the ref and Arfield and Aribo, mate?
The referee, I mean, the camera went on to Gerrard at one point, and you seen him counting his fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I counted it was 10 fouls before one of them was booked, and it was the guy that siphoned Ryan Kent right down when he was right in goal. I think Scotia summed that team up quite well. They were very streetwise. They knew how to play the game. They knew how to play the referee. See if the referee books one of them after 3 fouls. That's it. They can't do it. But no, stops it. But no, he let it run. And they knew exactly what they could do in that game. They played the ref brilliant. And in fact, in the second half, they brought 3 players on at one point, and they took, I think, 2 of the guys that were booked because they knew we'll put them on and they'll do the same thing. Because if they get a booking, it doesn't matter. So fair play to them. And you see that a lot with these European teams. They come, they get these niggly fouls. That's what they do. You're used to it in Europe. That's what they do. We don't seem to do it. As a British type culture, for some reason, we don't do it. Maybe we should do it, but these teams get away with it. And the referee was poor. And to be fair, I know we slag referees in Scotland, but we've slagged a lot of referees in Europe this season as well.
I was thinking that, honestly, at one point I was thinking, God, I complain a lot about referees in Scotland, and that's 2 games in a row. All I've wanted to do is complain about this referee.
Maybe it's just referees.
Maybe.
Them in general.
Aribo and Arfield, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I texted you, Carney, and I said the 2 of them, I thought Davis was really trying. I thought Kamara tried, but I thought I could give Aribo a slight bit of slack. Like I could see what Scotia's saying. I thought Arfield was miles off it tonight again. I thought he's that guy that's supposed to do the bursting runs into the box, support, and when Morelos holds up to be that runner going, and he was way off the pace again, Arfield, and I don't think he's fit. I don't think he's match fit. I remember when we brought Kamara Roof back at one point, and we all looked at each other and went, why is he playing? Because he's miles off it, and I'm looking at Arfield at this point now and going, he's miles off it again, and yeah, I like Scott Arfield. I think he's a great player for Rangers, but tonight he just wasn't on it at all. And I was very surprised when I see him in the second half. I wouldn't even put him on for the second half. But he was poor.
He wasn't great. I don't know what it is. It's just something doesn't really seem to be ticking there just now for whatever reason. Right, we'll jump on. Again, there's obviously things we want to talk about. I'll just say this bit. I'm pretty sure both of you are going to agree with me anyway, but Kamara's then booked for something. I really don't understand what he's booked for.
What's I don't know what the
Yeah, what is he meant to do? Is he meant to stop dead as soon as he wins that ball?
I think he's meant to disappear. I think he's meant to do a sort of magic act and disappear.
This is where the screaming comes in really well from Slavia.
Yeah, you're just like, I mean, what is he meant to do there? He wins the ball, the Slavia player's right in front of him, he jumps because he thinks the Slavia player's going to maybe make a tackle. He gets, oh God, honestly, I could go on. And then he books him, and obviously if we'd have got through, it would have mean he was suspended. So at this point I'm going, well, that's absolutely smashing. He's been booked for nothing at all. So, but anyway, move on from that. Rangers get a chance. We're looking to finish the half kind of strong. Good work from Rangers down the left-hand side. It's worked into the middle of the park to Morelos, just at the edge of the box. He manages to get a shot away, but it's just past the post. It was really unlucky with that effort, to be honest. And 2 minutes added on time at the end of the half. Barragan has a suicide moment. He turns into Sima. He nicks the ball off and bursts down the right-hand side into the box. Sima goes down. We are told it was being checked by VAR for a penalty, but presuming they decided that they weren't going to award it because the half-time whistle obviously goes. Now, I think this was a penalty. I mean, if it was against us, I'd be screaming for it. 1, Balogun's got a hold of his jersey. 2, he doesn't win the ball when he makes the tackle. So I'm a wee bit baffled how it wasn't a penalty. Not that I'm complaining. But anyway, it takes us to half-time. Ali, you can obviously touch at that at your half-time thoughts, mate. So what are you thinking? Obviously, Rangers 0, Slavia 1.
Just touching the Balogun one quickly. 2 minutes before that, Balogun had a wee bomb scare moment where he tried to piss about with the ball and nearly lost it. I like Balogun. Like I said, I think he's a signing of the season in terms of value for money and stuff. But we've said it for day one. He's got a bomb scare moment in him all the time. We see when he turns back like that, I thought, what is he doing, man? And I was the same as you. I thought penalty. And when it went to VAR, I thought, no, it's 100% going to be a penalty now. I watched, just touching that last night, I watched the Chelsea game last night against Atletico Madrid. And Atletico Madrid player get dragged back in the box, and it should have been a penalty and a sending off for the Chelsea player as well, and it didn't go to VAR. So I don't quite know what VAR really does at times when it's used, but I was happy, I was delighted at that point because that could have killed us completely. But No, I touched on the first half. I thought Slavia probably deserved to be one up. They didn't. They scored their goal, sat back, and said to Rangers, "Have a go at us," and they probably try and counter attack us. Played the referee like a fiddle. Referee was shocking, I thought. But it was very similar to the first leg. I thought Rangers can't play the way they played in the second half. I thought they would come out, Rangers, and show something. And I had on my written down Arfield off, and I thought bring Hadji on and drop Aribo deeper. That was my thoughts for the second half, because we huffed and puffed. I thought Morelos tried. I thought Morelos played quite well in that first half. I thought Ryan Kent was trying, but they doubled up on him, just fouled him all the time, because they knew he's a danger man for Rangers. Stop Ryan Kent and you stop Rangers. So, yeah, there was not much I could really say about that first half. It was what it was.
It's no Scotia.
What I've got noted down is thoughts from last week, because it was pretty much it was the same type of game pretty much all throughout it. To be honest, the only thing wasn't there was us equalising. Yeah, so I think we were better the first half than we were last week. In all honesty, I thought Davis was pretty good, and as Ali says, Kent and Morelos, yeah, but it was very similar to last week, and yeah, not an awful lot of what I get noted down for sort of first half thoughts I spoke about during the referee stuff, because he kind of dominated for a large spell there. But I was looking at it, and I was like, we've got a chance to get in at the back of them, because they looked a bit ropey at the back at times. And what I was wanting us to do was maybe try and test the keeper with a few more shots at times, because he looked a wee bit ropey. You know, that one he parried away from, was it Morelos or was it Kent? No, it was Morelos, wasn't it? He parried it away, and but he didn't look overly comfortable with it. And what I'd said about Kent getting fouled, he was getting fouled just that wee bit too high up the pitch. If he was getting fouled a wee bit closer, where we could try and take the free kick on directly, might have suited us a wee bit better. But yeah, I had a wee bit, not optimism, but had thoughts that there was things that we could do to exploit things in the second half.
But again, that probably comes down to Slavia being the kind of team that they are, mate, and fouling people in the correct place in the pitch. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what they were doing. And yeah, at half time, I'm thinking, well, we just need to wait and see now, to be honest. I thought Rangers would maybe get a chance. I would never have scripted the second half to go the way that it did. I'll be completely honest. I don't think anybody would. But I thought if Rangers got a chance, we get a goal, then yeah. I thought at any point, no, if Slavia score first, we're done. I thought there's no way we were going to come back from that. But we'll jump into the second half. So into the second half, the first kind of 5 minutes, Rangers got a really good period of possession before the ref awards Slavia a free kick, obviously, allowing them to kind of to get out a bit. And then there's another one for Kent. I think he breathed too hard on that bar out on the left hand side, and bar went down like again the sniper had shot him. So yeah, again, referee obviously easily gives the free kick because it's blatantly a free kick, obviously. And then there's a stop and play. Barisic and the Slavia player have come together out on the left-hand side, and it leads to the first change for Rangers. Scott Arfield comes off, Kamar Roof comes on. Just didn't work for Scott Arfield tonight. We've spoke about him enough. He just seems a wee bit off the pace. Personally, I thought this might have been the correct sub to make. Rangers were obviously chasing a goal. Ali, you sent me a message, not convinced about this substitute.
No, I would have brought Hadji on. Kamar Roof came back a while ago from an injury, and like we said previously, he came back and he was miles off the pace. And no, I thought it was the wrong subject. I can see what you're saying in terms of getting a goal, but I just thought Hadji might have created something. You've still got Kent, you've still got Aribo, you've still got Morelos in the park for goals. I thought it was the wrong substitution. If I'm being honest, I would have went with Hadji all day long. I thought Hadji is more up to speed with the game than Kamar Roof, who's been out this Rangers team for months now, to be honest. So for me, it had to be Hadji, not Roof.
Yeah, what would your thoughts, Scott, on the sub?
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I agree. Even before the sub was made, I agree with Ali that I thought Hadji would have been the better option. He would come in and he could like break the lines a bit better in between the sort of midfield and defence of their team. And it's like he done last week. It's that wee one moment of magic that kind of opens up things to give you a chance, whereas Roof's the person that's typically on the end of that type of stuff. So I thought Hadji would have probably been a more sensible substitution, but we can say that now looking back on it. But I did,
Yeah,
to be honest, in all honesty, I did have that kind of thought when it was get made.
yeah, I think the reason I thought, oh, come on, Roof, is because it wasn't Hadji. Does that make sense? But I mean by that, like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
Hadji, right? Okay, we might be trying to do something else here. So, the Hadji was the obvious sub, I think, to pretty much everybody. So I thought we maybe be trying to do something else, but yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. So Morelos then starts to play Slavia their own game a wee bit, makes a shout as the player fouls him for a wee tap on his foot. But it worked because Rangers got a free kick and the Slavia player got booked. Just saying, I'm just saying it worked. It worked. Rangers are having a good period of possession at this point. But we're not really doing anything with it. We weren't threatening a goal. We were controlling the ball, yeah, but Slavia were quite happy for us to have the ball and were pushing us when they wanted to push us. Slavia then, if, as you mentioned, Ali, they make the triple substitution. I kind of thought this is either a game plan or it's a risky move for them because three subs can always can unbalance a team, can unbalance a flow of a team, and especially when they were in the commanding position. I found that a wee bit surprising, but we were witnessed a pretty horrific moment in the game, to be honest. So before we start, this is a red card all day long. There's no doubt about that it's a red card. We're all in agreement with that. Roof is obviously trying to latch onto the ball over the top. The ball kind of sits up in front of him. Roof lifts his foot to obviously try and win it, to lift it over the keeper who's rushing out, but his boot goes straight, and I've seen the still shot from it, his boot goes straight into his face. We've seen the pictures of him obviously at the end of the game. This is a real nasty collision. I'm going to call it a collision because there's no way Roof means this. There's not a chance he's went out there at this point to try and put his foot through that keeper's face, but it's endangering an opponent. His foot's too high. It's a red card. I can't say it's not, and it's brutal. It was really slow one. You could see the blood immediately. The boy was in quite a bad way. He's obviously had to be stretchered off. They've made the substitution. We obviously hope he's okay. We pass on the best to him. Obviously, it's a horrible thing to see. But Ali, if we weren't up against it, we're fucking up against it now.
Aye, to be polite, we were fucked at this point. It was, I think it was Kamara's first touch, actually, really, to be honest. I think he really touched
what, that
ball.
Guy's face, you mean?
Aye, yeah, I think it was, aye. It's one of those ones, he doesn't mean it, Kamara, if his eyes are on the ball. Yeah, if he doesn't go for it, are we all screaming at him going, come on, fuck, Roof, you should have went for that?
I think he's got every right to go for it, mate.
Yeah,
I genuinely do
yeah,
think he's got every right to go for that. It's just unfortunate that the keeper was just that wee bit too close. And and it's a red card, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I think he's maybe, it's hard in the heat of a game, you're chasing a game. I think he's got to be mindful as soon as you put your foot up that high, you're running a major risk of going off the park. And I never thought he was going to score from where he was nicking a ball for the keeper there. In hindsight, which is always brilliant, he probably maybe should have pulled back. He's went for it fully. And unfortunately, he's caught the goalkeeper straight in the face. I mean, when you see the screenshot, it looks horrific, as most things do when you see it like that. But it summed our night up, to be honest, that completely. I honestly thought a red card was coming somewhere. I didn't think it was coming that way. I thought it'd be a second yellow for somebody, but it summed Kamara up for the last wee while. He's been in and out of Rangers as well. Just nothing's going for him. And nothing was going for us tonight. And to me, that was the nail in the coffin for us tonight. That it really, really sunk us. And it was a pity at 54. What was it, 60 was the first minute? It was, that for me, the game was done then for us.
Yeah, Scotia, ouch.
That was a sore one, yeah. It didn't look great. But I mean, I've not really got any problem with Roof going for it. There's no intent here at all. You see players do this all the time, and obviously most of the times no one's near them, so it looks brilliant. Then when there's an outfield player beside you, there's less risk of them coming for it. But when it's a goalkeeper, it's a completely different story because they can come at you with all their body, and that's what the guy does. And just unfortunately, he takes a really, really sore one. And yeah, I was thankful when I seen the images then, but I was really concerned that it could have been really bad for his eye. Because I mean, it was right all across that kind of section of his face. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, sending my best wishes to him and hope it's not too serious. But ouch, ouch indeed. See, one of the things you know what you were saying about the triple sub that Slavia made and it can
Yeah,
interrupt the game
yeah.
flow. I think our game flow get a wee bit interrupted when between Roof coming on and Roof going off. To be honest, it took him a wee while. The time it took him to get into the game, he gets sent off. But like, I thought our midfield kind of got a wee bit disjointed for a wee bit while he was off, and then I think after that it changes. But yeah, it happened to us as well, or it happened to us. I think that sub.
Yeah, you're probably right, mate. But yeah, we do. As I say, it was a fucking slow one, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, even when you seen him lying, I was like, oh, that's a Sodian. You could tell straight away. I was like, that's an absolute Sodian, and the reaction from the players. But yeah, it's a red card. I don't think there was any intent there, but it's endangering an opponent, so we can't really complain about it. Anyway, but we'll move on from that. Patterson shows a great bit of play down the right hand side. Does the wee Tav cut inside, gets himself into the box, gets the shot away from the right hand channel. It's just over the box. But this is what Rangers are, I think, needing to do now at this point, and that's what I'm thinking, is they need to take risks. Balogun, who's already on a booking, then makes a foul as they're breaking forward, leaves himself very much on a tightrope. As one more, he'll get his marching orders. Prague then have got a chance, they're clean through, but Patterson again shows just as good a defending as he just had attacking, with a absolutely fucking outstanding tackle. I mean, it really is the kind of last ditch defending. He has to make that tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, he's off the park as well. But I'm obviously cautious on time, lads, and what we're about to come on and speak about. So, but you both agree Patterson did pretty fucking well there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, as if it was written in the stars, the second booking comes from Balogun. Rangers are down to 9 men. So he takes his man out through the back. The ref tried to kind of play advantage, but kind of pulled it back and awarded the second yellow, and he is off. And then obviously from that, well, obviously I'll come to you for this, but from the resulting free kick that happened from there, Slavia kind of finished the tie off. A pretty much a wonder free kick from Stanchu, to be honest. Beats McGregor from some distance in its game-setting match. Rangers 0, Slavia Prague 2. It's now Rangers need 3 goals with 9 men. Ali, things just got things just got worse.
Honestly, Balogun was always going off that game. He made the challenge a couple of minutes before, and I turned my flatmate and I went, "We need to put Hollander or somebody else on, or was it Jack Simpson on? We need to, because he's going off. He's won. He probably should have went for the one before it. To be honest, I think the referee let him away with that. To be honest, should have went. It came from a slack ball from, I don't know if it was Goldson or somebody gave a slack ball away, and then Balogun takes a guy and he's got to go. I've got no complaints with the second yellow whatsoever. He's got to go. And great goal for Stanchu. He's a really good player. I'd love to know if we could sign him in the summer, to be honest, because he's scores some great goals for them. He looks like a cracking wee player. But that was the final nail in the coffin for tonight. And if it wasn't going for us, it wasn't going for us. I thought we actually played reasonably all right with 10 men for a wee while.
Yeah, so did
we got a wee second wind, but no, that was dead buried. And at that point, I thought, hopefully Slavia feel a bit sorry for us and just fuck about with the ball for the next 20 minutes. And they kind of did, to be honest.
Yeah. Scotia, your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, firstly on the Stanchu goal, yeah, that was a brilliant free kick. So again, you just hold your hands up and say there's not really much you can do about that. I think you can see with Stanchu why he's keeping Hadji out the Romanian team at the minute.
He's a good player.
Yeah, because he looks like he looks really good. And then Balogun, that miscontrol. As soon as he miscontrolled it, I knew he was going to foul the guy. And I agree with what Ali was saying that Hollander or Simpson should have probably been on earlier, but I think that would have happened. But Roof gets sent off, and because Roof's off, he's like, well, can I make another one? I need to keep him on, but yeah, that sub should have been made with it sitting on the yellow card and the way that they play attacking through because they always look the threat coming forward and they're speedy, so there's always that risk that you just catch them late. And the refs seem to love giving us cards and not them so much, where they should have probably had a few more yellows, I think, themselves.
So without being too critical here, but I'll come to you first. Are we going to criticise Gerrard here for not making the substitution? I think he should have took when Balogun did that first one just before he got sent off. I think Balogun should have been took off right there and then.
Yeah, we've said hindsight's a
wonderful thing.
Is a wonderful thing. I mean, Gerrard's been absolutely fantastic for us this year, but I think he got it wrong in the Roof substitution. I thought it should have been Hadji. On Balogun, when Balogun done a challenge a couple of minutes before and he got away with it, to me, get him off the park straight away, and he didn't do it. So yeah, he should have taken him off the park, but as we say, it's hindsight. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, Scotia hindsight.
But to be honest, when I was watching the game, I wasn't screaming for him to get subbed off really, and I think it was that was hard because the Roof challenge kind of changed my mindset. But as the Roof hadn't been sent off, I would have asked for it. But while I was watching the game, I can't remember me thinking to myself, "Yeah, Balogun needs to get taken off right now."
Oh, it was coming, Scotia.
I know.
He had even before the one before, which he should have went for. He had one before that as well, but he get let off with. It was
I'm just saying, what I remember from watching the game, it didn't occur to me at the point. Maybe I just completely forgotten about it, to be honest, that he was on a yellow. I didn't think he needs to come off and bring Helander on.
Yeah, obviously hindsight is a wonderful thing. But at that point, I was thinking he's going to get sent off. So all I could think was he's definitely getting sent off, especially the way the game was going. Rangers make sub after this. Patterson comes off, Simpson comes on. Really looks like Slavia could probably score at will here, to be honest, if they decided to up the pace a wee bit. They beat the offside trap at one point, but the square ball across was cleared away by Kamara. Rangers then make 3 subs, obviously with an eye on Sunday's game. Zungu and Wright come on. Morelos, Davis and Kent go off, and then there's a bit of an outburst of emotions. Goldson feels kind of hard done by the foul against him. It's a bit of afters, and then a player whispers something in Kamara's ear. Then there is a very, very big reaction from Kamara, Zungu, and Goldson. The boy, what's his name? Cadella, wasn't it? Cadella. So Cadella covers his mouth. You see the replay, it covers his mouth as he whispers in something in Kamara's ear. Now, without being too controversial and without saying things out of turn when we don't know the real facts, whether we ever will know the real facts, I'm not sure. We haven't seen post-match press conferences or anything yet, because we'd literally started this as soon as the final whistle went, but it looks blatantly obvious to me what he said here, and I don't think I'm being out of turn when I say that. Whatever he has said, it's pissed off Kamara, it's pissed off Zungu, and it's pissed off Goldson. Goldson pretty much chases him all around the park at this point, trying to get at him. I think if Goldson would have got to him at that point, I think he'd have probably ripped his head off. And then the ref decides that he's going to book him and book Goldson. So he books, I keep remembering his name, Cadella, and booking Goldson. We're then told by the commentary team that the Rangers bench have been made aware of what he apparently said, or something like that, something along the lines of that. Obviously, we don't know the full details, but Ali, I'm putting two and two together here, and I think I'm coming up with 4.
Yeah. It's a hard one because we don't know exactly what he said. You're guessing what he said, and I mean Kamara is quite a placid guy.
Why would he cover his mouth? But
exactly, the guy knows what he's doing. He knows. We all know what he's doing. To be fair, Scotia summed him up brilliantly earlier on. They're streetwise. They know exactly what they're doing. This team. This is what they were all about tonight. Guy whispered it in whatever he said to Kamara, and we can all guess what he kind of said. I mean, I've got 2 guesses. I'm not going to say what I think they are, but I've got 2 guesses what I think they are. It reminded me of the Ross County game where the boy said something to one of our players and it all kicked off, and you know what happened there. It was a homophobic slur apparently up there, and nothing happened from it. But yeah, but we can all guess what we think he said. The guy knows what he's doing. Kamara, the most placid guy on the park for Rangers, him and Joe Aribo. I mean, they wouldn't say boo at a ghost, to be honest, but and Big Goldson gets involved. And I quite like the Rangers team when somebody says something, they all get involved. I like that about Rangers. Big Barisic is in there as well, which I love. And yeah, it's hard to speak about it when you don't know exactly what it was, because you're speculating what it is, but we can all kind of have a decent guess at what we think it is. But I wouldn't want to say what I think it is in this, because obviously I can't 100% say that's correct. So, but yeah, it's just some dumb.
Yeah, Scotia. I still think we know. I know it's hard to say. We obviously don't want to get into speculation, but he definitely didn't go up to Kamara and go, by the way, you're shit hot at football, by the way.
Yeah, no, you're right. You don't want to speculate, but we can all make pretty much educated guesses of the reaction of quite a few players during that kind of what happened. Obviously, as Ali says, Kamara's quite quiet guy, doesn't seem to get involved in all the argy-bargy that can go on. He gets really angry. You can see Zungu going nuts. A few of the Slavia players that are close by as well all look pretty sheepish. And at points during that, I was just, because by this point I was like, well, it's clear what's happened to me. I'm obviously, there is a wee bit of speculation, but I'm making what I feel's a fairly educated guess on what's been said. And I was wanting, to be honest, I wouldn't have minded if Goldson had leathered him. Now I'm obviously saying that pretty much, half an hour, 40 minutes after it's happened. So yeah, emotions are still running high with me, because to be honest, I was falling asleep up until, or not falling asleep, but the game, because I knew we'd lost, I was losing interest in it, and then that happened and it just fired me right up, because that's not something you like to see. We're trying to get ready, stuff like this, and yeah, I had no complaints with the way Goldson reacted, and I wouldn't blame him if he took that further, to be honest, if it had happened.
Yeah, I'll quickly round up the game. Obviously, 7 minutes added on time. Rangers really wanted the final whistle. Nothing really happened in the last 7 minutes, to be honest, but the game finished as it did. Slavia Prague are now through, Rangers are out. We'll move to the final whistle. Gerrard comes on the park at this point and goes straight up to... He goes to the ref first, and then he goes to a black player that plays for Slavia Prague. And he's obviously saying something to him, and the guy, Cadella, that said it is going walking around the back of him, who, in my honest opinion, you can see on the guy's face that he knows he's done something wrong, and he doesn't want fucking nothing to do with anybody. He really doesn't. Gerrard then has a word with the Slavia Prague manager twice. He has to say it to him twice. I'm presuming that he's saying, you know exactly what's happened to you. We'll deal with this inside, or whatever was going to happen, from whatever's going to come from it. Gerrard, I don't think, does that if he's not pretty sure of what's just happened. And I think he believes the players, and why should he not believe the players? Even after Goldson and Cadella was booked, Kamara was still at the referee going, I can't believe that this is, like, you're letting this continue and you're letting this happen. I'll put my neck out there, and I'm pretty sure what he said is racist. I'll be surprised if it ever comes out that we get told the full truth about it, but I'm presuming he's made a racist comment about it. There is no fucking room for that at all on a football pitch, never mind in the world. There's no fucking room for it. It's bang out of order. It got me right fired up as well, because all I could think was, Connor, just grab him. I don't give a fuck if you get banned for 6 matches, mate. Just put the fucking shit right out of him, because it's bang out of order. He's got black players in his own team, and this guy's doing something like this. I mean, I know I'm putting my neck out. You don't need to say, but we all know without becoming spit. And I doubt Slavia Prague are going to listen to this. Never come sue me, so it doesn't really make a difference. But it's fucking bang out of order, and I hope whatever's been said, it comes out and the club take it further, and this boy's dealt the cards that he's going to need to deal with. He should be banned from the game. He shouldn't be allowed to play football again, in my opinion. Stupid mistake or not, you've went up and you've covered your mouth and you've said something to Kamara, and you know what you've said, and he won't even have the fucking balls to come out and say what he actually did say. It is fucking bang right out of order, and it's a horrible way for the game to end, because it kind of takes away from the game. And obviously it's a welcome distraction, because we're obviously out. Ali, I'd probably agree with what you said back at the start, mate, that they probably were the best over the 2 legs, mate, and we probably can't really complain about it. But to bring it back to more kind of positive, we still have to applaud at this team for what they've been through this year, what they gave us this year. I mean, we all said at the start of the season, you can shove Europe up your arse and we'll just concentrate on the league. We all wanted 55 and we got it, and now we've been put out. But are we being harsh, Ali, by saying this is maybe just a wee missed opportunity, maybe?
Yes and no. I think because we went in tonight, one each, you're going to Ibrox. I mean, we all said this is a 50-50 tie with this team. They're a good team. And I thought they schooled us tonight, to be honest. I thought they schooled us. I didn't think we played to our capabilities, which I think Gerrard and the team will be disappointed in. We didn't really give it at all. I thought it was a free hit for Rangers tonight. We've won the league. I wanted Rangers to go out tonight and go have a right go at this team, and we didn't. But it was maybe down to their tactics and the way they played, to be honest. But I don't think we can be disappointed. As I said earlier on, Europe, Scottish Cup, League Cup is gravy to me if we do stuff in it. It's icing on the cake. The league was all I wanted. We could have get pumped out in the qualifiers of Europe. As much as Dave King or the Douglas partner wouldn't have liked that back then, but it's the league was the be all and end all for this season. We've done it. We've achieved it. Tonight, it was a disappointing performance from Rangers. If we need to be honest with it, it was disappointing the way we went out. But if you look back on it, it's some achievement to go through the whole of Europe, 3 qualifiers. I know Scotia says it was only 1 round knockouts we were doing, and to lose 1 game in Europe. It's a cracking achievement, and it's holding Scottish football up in terms of the coefficient points, Rangers, once again. And yeah, I hope tomorrow Rangers don't get slagged by the press like up here. I hope they get praised because they've done Scottish football extremely proud this season. And yeah, they've done me proud. And I just hope we can kick on for the rest of the season. We've obviously got the Old Firm coming up, and we've got the Scottish Cup too. And we've also got a title celebration to look forward to. So yeah, I'm extremely proud of my football team tonight. And yeah, you can't win every game of football, and we were beaten by a better team tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, Scott.
Yeah, I think over the course of the 2 legs, you look at it, and Slavia are the better team over the course of the 2 legs. I think, obviously, looking to the game that they had, the games they had against Leicester, sort of very similar results they seem to be. Yeah, so that, I mean, I know we'd mentioned it previously that we kind of looked at it and thought, oh no, that looks like a favourable draw. Yeah, you could completely wrong there, wasn't I? No, they were a very, very good outfit. Probably one of the best teams I think we've played since Gerrard's been back, and particularly in terms of they were very good footballing wise, but they're very, very good street football wise as well. Doing all the wee niggly things that you used to do when you would play football when you were younger, like getting in people's ears, not in a nice way. I'm not referring to that Cadell thing because that's
I know what you mean.
atrocious.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What they were doing, other than that, was really good. But yeah, I'm really proud of Rangers, and like I said, sort of near the start, I think this season can be looked at as more successful than the previous season, even though we got to the same stage. It's incremental steps in Europe that we're making, and we're getting better and better year on year. And there's things that we can take away from tonight, like all the wee streetwise football stuff, learn from that, and maybe take it in and maybe try to use that in Europe next season and seasons going forward. But yeah, no, this season's definitely been the best season in Europe under Gerrard, and it's been the best season in Europe since 2008.
Yeah,
because it was pretty much, well, not garbage, but it wasn't fantastic after 2008, to be honest. So no, I'm really proud of this team in Europe this season.
Yeah, I think I'm the same, mate. And I think, as I said at the start of the show, you've got to remember we've came from a man standing in a hedge that pretended he knew stuff about football managing our team to being in the last 16 for 2 seasons in a row, the Europa League. And yeah, I'm extremely proud of my team. I'm extremely proud for the way they performed in the league as well. But that's the first game we've lost in Europe this season. I mean, come on, how much more can you ask? Yeah, Slavia are not filled with world-class players, but they've got enough quality and they're drilled well enough to cause any team a problem. I genuinely believe that. I mean, they put out Leicester as well. I think Leicester would be a tough game for us as well. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's good to be disappointed. This is the only second game we've been beat this season. That's such a privilege and such a change, and it really just shows the absolute journey that we've all been on, and this team that Gerrard's managed to build. And unfortunately, this wasn't our year. We weren't to go a stage further, but yeah, I really am proud of my team. I don't think we could really ask for any more. Gentlemen, we'll just wrap up here tonight. Obviously, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, a bit of a roller coaster of emotions tonight. So, as always, Ali, thank you very much for your time, mate.
No problem. I suppose we're doing a pod on the pre-match to Celtic
game
then.
Yes, we will. Scott, thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Sweet to you next time, guys.
Yes, to say we will be back. Maybe do it tomorrow, maybe do it Saturday. Not decided yet. We'll come back and we'll do a preview of the Old Firm. But as always, thank you to everybody for listening. As I say, try not to be too down about it tonight. Rangers have still done us all very, very proud. I'm still delighted with the team. It just wasn't to be our night tonight. So as I say, we'll be back soon. We'll do a club deck corner for the preview of the Old Firm game, and we roll on to Sunday now. Still got stuff to play for. The unbeaten run and the Scottish Cup to come. So, as I say, not the night we were expecting, not the result we wanted to speak about, and certainly some on-field things that we didn't want to see. But hey, that's football, and that's what being a Rangers fan's all about. But we are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We will speak to you again next time. And remember, we are the people, and we always will be. Cheers.